Season 11, they aired an episode called Bart to the Future. The episode aired in 1999, but obviously it was set way in the future. And in this episode, it shows Donald Trump as the president. This was 1999.
Yeah.
17 years before he even ran.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something like he had talked before about being a politician. Who knows? Maybe that just got pulled out of thin air. But that's not the part that gets me. The part that gets me is that there is a scene in The Simpsons of Trump going down an escalator.
This one I've seen.
Yes, and it's like he's in a mall maybe. And on the floor, the second floor, there's a crowd of people holding signs on the railing watching him go down this escalator. And to the left, there is a child holding a poster that says vote. And as he's going down the escalator, the animated child drops this poster. Not down to the first floor, but just kind of down.
Yeah.
There is video footage of Trump on his campaign trail, going down an escalator, and on the left-hand side, a person holding a poster drops it at the exact same moment that The Simpsons created back in 1999.
It's pretty fucking weird.
I mean, the details of that. That's not something like, oh, it was probably bound to happen.
Color of the sign was wrong.
Okay, regardless.
I'll give it a 2.
The camera angle.
Everything was perfect.
Everything. That's too fucking weird to be a coincidence. I give that a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I would give that a 10.
God, you can't explain it.
No.
In 2008, season 20, Homer goes to vote for Obama, but the voting machine he's using changes his vote. I can't remember who it was to. It doesn't matter. 4 years later, machines were removed from a Pennsylvania voting area for malfunctioning and switching votes from Obama to Mitt Romney.
Yeah.
I gave it a 5 out of 10.
I would give it even less than that. I mean, voter fraud is going to happen. You're going to have screw-ups and...
I only gave it a 5 out of 10 because I thought it was interesting that in the show, it was specifically votes for Obama were being switched over.
Oh, okay.
And this one in Pennsylvania, it was specifically votes for Obama being switched over. And it wasn't like it was malfunctioning and not just counting the votes. It was literally switching them to the other candidate.
Okay. All right, you convinced me.
In season 21, episode 12, titled Boy Meets Curl, Marge and Homer go to the 2010 Olympics for curling. They compete against Sweden, who in real life is notorious for winning curling competitions in the Olympics.
Okay.
I did not know that.
All right.
Well, they end up getting really far behind, but come back in the end to win the curling gold for the U.S., Homer and Marge. In 2018, 8 years later, during the Winter Olympics, U.S. was against Sweden for the gold, came back from behind to win it.
Oh, nice.
They had never won the curling gold, not even medaled before.
Good job.
Weird, right? I was going to go 8 out of 10 because I thought that was oddly specific. They won in the exact same way.
Okay, I'd give it like a 6.
Are you serious? Out of all the different competitions...
I gave you my answer.
Okay, but I'm just saying, out of all the events, The Simpsons chose curling.
You could find in any sport a comeback victory, and curling became popular because it was fun to make fun of.
Okay. Moving on. In season 23, episode 22 aired in 2012. That was a lot of numbers back to back. So in 2012, The Simpsons showed Lady Gaga performing for Springfield, and she was lowered into the stadium, like suspended in the air.
Right.
5 years later, she gave an eerily similar Super Bowl halftime performance.
What do you give it?
I said 5 out of 10. Because if you see them side by side, they're pretty... Oh, okay. They look pretty identical. Okay. But she could have been inspired by that. Who knows? The
Simpsons.
Yeah. There's a ton more. Like, the Simpsons movie said the NSA was spying on all Americans before Edward Snowden did it. But of course, I mean, that was obvious. They predicted 2 Super Bowl winners, I think like a decade apart, before ever knowing who was going to the Super Bowl.
Right.
They also predicted a Nobel Prize winner. They made an episode where FIFA was corrupt.
Which
And like 3 years later, they got brought up on a bunch of charges for the exact same things that happened in The Simpsons.
Oh, wow.
Honestly, you could go on. And if you look at all of these things individually, like we were rating them, they're all below a 5.
Right.
But put them all together.
Yeah, that's what I'm
You're
saying.
telling me that many coincidences happen on one show?
Yeah, that's weird.
There are other TV shows that run, obviously not as long as The Simpsons, but there are TV shows that run for decades.
And don't predict
anything like this.
Yeah. It's pretty weird.
So do you think that Matt Groening is some sort of Nostradamus, time traveler, or psychic? And he is putting this into his show as little glimpses into our future.
I don't think he's time traveling or anything. I think maybe he sold his soul.
He could have. It would explain why he has the longest running TV show.
I
didn't even talk about Futurama.
Oh, yeah.
He started Futurama, which also has a lot of predictions in it. They predicted the coronavirus. There was also a thing that they predicted 9/11, which I didn't put in there, but it was kind of a stretch. But Homer holds up this paper that has the Twin Towers in it, and for some reason it has $9 so big on it that the 9 is in the middle of the paper, and then the Twin Towers make 11.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, that's a lot of weird shit.
Yeah. So what do you think if he's not a time traveler? You think he sold his soul? Yeah,
and he's got advanced knowledge. Because let's say he's a time traveler. Mm-hmm. He travels back in time, and he happens to see this one video clip of Trump and a kid dropping a sign, so he decides to write that in or anything like that. I don't think he's time traveling and bringing back little specific incidences like that. I think he's got, I don't know, he just has all the knowledge. He sees everything.
But you're going to go sold his soul over, like, psychic?
That's just a weird prediction to make. You know what I mean?
I agree, but, I mean, I would go psychic, like, has visions of the future. Like, that's
maybe
so
that's
Raven
what I'm trying
style.
To say.
Instead of sold his soul to get tiny bits of knowledge from our future to put in his
that's
animated series.
Yeah, that's dumb. Who came up with that idea?
It's a weird fucking reason to sell your soul, bro.
I'm going with you.
Well, I don't believe that.
Oh.
I don't believe
Me either.
I don't believe this conspiracy theory at all. I think that he has a highly intelligent team of writers that are so intelligent that they can make educated predictions.
Yeah.
And the things that they couldn't predict just
Didn't
somehow were coincidences.
Yeah. How many things were, maybe like a little joke behind the scenes amongst the writers and stuff that never panned out or anything?
Well, like, I think the 9/11 thing was a coincidence. I think the Trump thing, as weird as it is a coincidence. However, like FIFA, if you're sitting around with a group of super knowledgeable, highly educated people that are continuing their education, like reading reports of things, like keeping up with the news, stuff like that, they're going to say, oh my God, have y'all seen? FIFA's doing some weird fucking shit.
Oh, yeah.
Before it ever gets out to common knowledge.
Yeah.
So why not stick it in a show like, hey, FIFA, we're watching you type shit.
Uh-huh.
And I think that that's what 90% of it is. Like, Disney buying Fox.
Yeah.
That was probably something they heard whispered about at the water cooler and just stuck it in as a, we know what you're doing type thing.
Yeah. They're staying topical and stuff.
Right. And I'm sure, like you said, half of it was meant for maybe their entertainment above even recognition or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a conspiracy theory that I don't believe in. But I would like to say you just released a conspiracy theory on Patreon.
Yeah.
And it was Jesus based off of a psychedelic mushroom.
Uh-huh.
But you were not successful in making me believe that.
No.
I, however, have been successful in making you believe all of them, including today.
Are we counting this one?
Yes, why not? You said I go with you. He's seeing premonitions. He's psychic. You did not say he just has a team of talented educational
All right.
education.
Yeah, you're right.
educated, got stuck in my mouth for a minute. Educated writers, you believed that there was something supernatural happening.
There is.
So hell yes, I'm taking it for a win.
All right.
Fuck yes. I should have joined debate.
I'm not the hardest to debate against, I don't think.
Oh man, that's why I fucking love conspiracodes.
Yeah. They're fun.
I like watching your wheels turning in your head, and like right when you have some doubt, I'm like, I don't know, and you immediately are like, well, maybe you're right.
All right.
Well, that's it. Episode 79.
In the books.
We did it. Next one's 80.
Uh-huh.
Math. Quick math.
79 plus 1.
I don't think we're going to do an after show, but we will release bloopers to Patreon members.
You know what I want to mention?
Huh.
Before we hang up?
Okay.
Did you see about the news? Okay.
What?
In Russia. This is back to my story.
Okay.
There was a Russian news producer who, while the news was going on, the anchor is sitting at the desk. Mm-hmm. This producer gets up behind her with a big sign. Mm-hmm. And it says, "No war. Stop the war. Don't believe propaganda. They are lying to you here." And then she was missing.
Oh my God, no.
But I found, this would have been like 3 hours ago, I saw an article where she had been detained. So
I don't like that, though.
It's one of those things, like, it just happened like today.
Ugh.
So that news is just coming out. But yeah, I mean,
she's brave.
That's what I was thinking.
What a bad bitch right there.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So I just thought I'd mention that since we weren't doing an after show.
Wow. Well, yeah, I don't think we have anything to talk about further for our after show, but I'll put some bloopers out if there are any. But other than that, we love you guys and we appreciate you, and cheers to Gigi.
Thanks, y'all.